Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a little update about the new Louis Theroux film about Scientology. I watched it last night and it's a great film. Again, highlighting the dangers of this crazy movement, cult, whatever you want to call it. I've seen previous documentaries and read literature, and I'm speaking to ex-members of the Scientology movement, so this film was important. And the reason why it's important is because they actually reenact real scenarios that went on inside this movement, especially in relation to the Sea Org, members of the Sea Org, basically where Scientologists sign up to this billion-year contract to be basically slaves for the Scientology belief system. And they're trapped, and they are living in the most awful circumstances in this kind of commune where there's wire around the building. It's really frightening. And if they do anything wrong, they're punished and put in this building, which is known as the Hole. And we saw reenactions of what went on in there, like violence, attacks, assaults, abuse of the most shocking nature. Just absolutely heartbreaking. People were interviewed in this film that have lost their families, broken people, people that have given thousands, all their life savings to this awful, awful criminal movement. You join this movement and you're going up a ladder to try and better your life, but what they're really doing is they're breaking you down piece by piece, and you pay for that. You pay huge amounts of money. Basically, they're worth a massive amount of money. It's like a pyramid scheme. So you start with the courses, and if you want to get to the higher levels, you've got to pay a higher price. And this is what's happening, and this is what celebrities like Tom Cruise and John Travolta are tied to. And their belief system is really about, you have to be like them to be, accepted in society. So if you are autistic, like me, I'm on the autistic spectrum and I have autistic children, or if you are, disabled, or if you are in the LGBT movement, you are seen as a degraded being, and basically you do not have any rights. And anybody that is, trying to speak out against this, they are set upon and followed and intimidated, which is what happened to Louis Theroux. So during his making of this film, it was just unbelievable. They were filming him continuously. So a car would pull up, or they'd be tailing them, and they would just follow up to Louis and go right up to his face with a camera. And he would ask, "Why are you filming me? Why are you filming me? Who are you?" And they would not answer, just standing there staring at you. Very, very creepy. Or they would just be watching in a car from a parked road. And this is normal. Everyone has told me this. Anyone that's been in the movement, this is normal behaviour. This is what they do to try and get people to back down and not speak out. And I suppose I'm the kind of person, because I campaign for autistic rights, and I think we need to speak out. I think we need to take the masks off. We need to not be afraid of these awful people, because they're dangerous. I want to talk a little bit about, that whole issue of autism and the Scientology movement. So, what we know is that we basically unveiled an abusive therapy, if you can call it that, called spot training, which is being carried out by Hungarian monsters who torture and abuse autistic children. So basically what they're doing is techniques that are akin to those used in Scientology. TR bullbait is one of them, which is basically shouting and screaming and roaring at autistic children, telling them that they're no good, telling them that their mothers don't love them. The most vile things in a bid to try and cure their autism, because they believe that they can cure autism with these techniques, because this is what the Scientology movement say. They believe sickness or mental illness or conditions like autism are all brought on by trauma in previous life, and by screaming at people and bullying them and terrorizing them, you will cure them from that condition. That's their basic belief. And this is what this spot training is all about. And we also discovered that the key guy for founding this spot training in Hungary, Zoltan, is involved in the Scientology movement. And since we have exposed him in the media, he's tried to, intimidate me and my colleague and other people by, saying nasty things, making memes, really pathetic memes, actually, I have to say, and thinking, that we will shut up because of that intimidation. Well, we won't. And, I just want to get that point across to anyone involved in, targeting autistic children, that you're just wasting your time trying to intimidate me or my colleagues, because we're not going to stop. In fact, it makes us stronger. But I suppose what really scares me is that, you know, on the research here and delving further into this issue, I have discovered that there's many quacks tied to the Scientology movement. And it has been written about before, and I've only just found this now. So it's Scientologists basically are anti-medication, so they're anti-treatment. So if you have a condition like autism, they don't want you to talk about it, and they don't want you to treat it. So if you need to get, I don't know, help with talk therapies or medication, they are anti-psychiatry. So if you have any condition or if you have a mental illness, you are not allowed to get talk therapies, you are not allowed to get antidepressants to treat your condition. And what's happening in Ireland and around the world is they have these campaigns, they have a front basically, pretending that they care about human rights, pretending that they want to help people. And it's called the Truth About Drugs campaign. And that campaign is all about basically taking away psychiatry, removing medication that helps people. Now, I know many people that have depression, and I know many people that are taking medication. It's a lifesaver for them. They need to be on that medication. Without it, they might not be here. So by saying that, you know, you don't need medication, it's reckless, it's crazy. And today, the Sunday Times actually had an article, because I knew about this already, and I've actually spoken to one of these politicians. Basically, photographs were found of Irish politicians and the mayors of Ireland and various cities, you know, together with the Scientology movement, with this reckless campaign. And they're saying they were hoodwinked or they didn't know what it was about, blah, blah, blah. But I think that needs to be delved into, because anyone, especially in political circles, that actually gives any time to this movement, it's wrong. It's absolutely reckless and dangerous, because you are endorsing a crazy, crazy organisation that is really about harming people. It's not about helping people. Like I said, they pretend to advocate for human rights, but only if you're a Scientologist. They don't advocate for my rights or my autistic children's rights, because they view us as degraded beings. Basically, we're not worthy. And then they're in hospitals painting murals on children's walls and, you know, pretending to care about the ill children. But they actually believe that, you know, these poor children brought this illness on themselves, that it was something they did in a previous life. So if you get a disease, it's your fault. You did something in the previous life to make you be ill now. And it's the same with disability, it's the same with everything else. It's all because of trauma or something we did in a previous life. And that's what the politicians need to know about. And I feel so strong on this issue, not just in relation to autism, because I absolutely despise this movement. I hate them. I think that they represent evil. There's nothing good about them. It's all about conning people with money. They're like taking money off people and basically breaking them down and causing huge mental stress to their lives. It's awful. And then on top of that, they are behind you know, scenes saying that, you know, autistic people are degraded beings and they shouldn't get treatment. So how many autistic kids are at risk here, you know? I mean, in the movement, what happens to them? I'd like to know about that. And the real worry for me is the opening of this National Affairs Office in Dublin. You know, people think, oh, there's only a small amount of people here in Ireland. One is too many, in my opinion. And that needs to be looked at, especially when we see these abusive techniques being carried out on autistic children. This is being okayed, you know, by the Scientology movement, because that's what they believe in. And I want the government to act. I really feel strongly about this. I want the Irish government to address this, and I'm going to try and do the best that I can to make that happen. I spoke to one of the politicians that's actually featured in the Sunday Times article earlier this week, ironically, and he told me that it was like, you know, I said, why did you go out to meet with these people? Why are there photographs of you, and why are you engaging with these monsters? And he was like telling me that he didn't really know and that it was like a timeshare. But then in the paper today, he said, oh, I have to meet with everybody in society because I'm a politician. That's not true. I mean, would he meet with Nazis? Would he have photographs taken with them? I don't think so. You know, so I actually believe that a lot of these politicians know damn well what these people are about, and are now in a position where they're embarrassed or whatever. But what they need to do is make stronger statements, and they need to act on this issue. They need to bring this up in the Dáil and, you know, say that this movement is dangerous and it's putting people's lives at risk. You know, saying that people shouldn't be on medication or get talk therapies for their depression. It's really, really dangerous and reckless. And what they're doing in general, they're breaking up families, like I said. You know, they're destroying people's lives. They're not helping anyone in any shape or form. And they use their methods of intimidation and bullying. So if anybody tries to speak out, they're afraid. There's a lot of people afraid, but we're not afraid. I'm not afraid of you, Scientology. I'm not afraid of your threats or your bullying or your intimidation. And that's what we need to do. We need to rise up and we need to stand up to these bullies, which is what they are. That's the word that comes to my mind when I think about Scientology, is bully. That's what they do. Their techniques are all about bullying, belittling people, making them feel like crap. That's what it's about. And the ex-members that, I really admire those that speak out. And there's some great guys here in Ireland that I'm talking to about this issue. But they need support. They need a lot of people to come out and, say that this is wrong and, get the government to do something. These people are getting away with murder. It's really, really the truth. It is the violence in this organisation, the intimidation, and they're allowed to do it. And that's the thing, they're going unchallenged. They're allowed to go out there, rob people of thousands of pounds and humiliate and terrorise. And this is what's going on. And this is happening to children as well. That's one point I really want to make, is that they don't see children as children, the Scientology movement. They refer to them as like adults in little bodies. So they're treating them like adults. So they're actually victims of this same terror. And they're growing up in these environments where, they're learning, they're being brainwashed into this horrendous kind of, I don't know, it's like a witchcraft. It's really, really creepy. I mean, what I can say about the film, and it is a great film, is that it was like watching a horror film. To me, it was like a horror movie. And I really admire the people that made the movie and the people that spoke out, because it's hard to do that, because they do suffer, and they do get bullied, and the intimidation is awful. But sometimes that has to happen to get the truth out there. And I think the government needs to support people that come out and speak a lot about this issue. I think there needs to be, something in place to give them that kind of confidence that they can talk about this issue without the fear of these lunatics turning up at your door, filming you everywhere, and threatening you. And that's what's wrong. I think that there's not enough support for these people. But the government needs to look at this anyway and just think that, this is not about religion or freedom of speech. I don't call this a religion. I don't believe in religion myself. I'm an atheist, but this is not religion. This is a business. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. These are charlatans, and they're telling people not to get medical treatment. They're telling people to not acknowledge who they really are. They're telling people they can't express themselves or feel. They're telling people that they have to be like robots, which is what's going on here. You can't feel. You can't. You've got to basically block all emotion and become like them. Become, I don't know. It's like the Stepford Wives, that film that I saw when I was, a young kid. It's really, really creepy, and it's a reality, and it's here in Ireland. And all you Scientologists in Ireland, you're not going to get away with preying on vulnerable people, especially the autistic community, telling us that, our condition is something that we got from a previous trauma in another life. I mean, how messed up is that, really? It's absolutely insane. These people believe in batshit crazy stuff. It's like, it's just not normal. But I want something done about it, and I want the Irish people to do something about this. So I want people to watch the film when it's released, and if it gets released here in Ireland, and speak out, write to your politicians, make noise about this issue, because we do need more voices here, because they do prey on the autistic community and those with disabilities. And if you're neurologically different, or if you have a mental illness, or if you're in the LGBT community, Scientology is not your friend. Actually, they just don't even think that we're human, and that's the truth. So look, I want people to support me with this. I really think this is a very important issue, and I am talking to other people regarding this issue, ex-members actually, and I think it's a really, really worthy campaign, because if we don't speak out against the Scientology movement, they will be allowed, they will continue, and it will get worse, and they will get bigger. So I think we need to act, and act fast. But watch the film and speak out, even making a statement, saying a few words, showing that, we're not afraid of these people, that we're not going to sit back and listen to their crap, that we're going to rise up and fight them because they're dangerous and they need to be stopped. And you are Scientology movement, you know, and really just the most bizarre situation, you know, looking at that film last night. It's like, is this really happening? Is this real? You know, you're pinching yourself thinking like in 2016 that this lunacy, you know, is there. But what they do is very sophisticated. There's a lot of money going into this movement. They, you know, use techniques that really just play with people's brains. It's really twisted and evil. It's awful. And then you've got celebrities like Tom Cruise and John Travolta. I don't know. I've no words for them. It's really, really frightening. But yeah, be yourself. Don't let anyone take you in and try and turn you into a robot, which is what's going on here. And they're just making money out of you. Bullies, they're dangerous and they need to be stopped. Okay? So watch the film. It's great. It should be released soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.